the Prime Minister's visit to Trinidad and Tobago, the second nation in his five-nation tour. Let's take you through some breaking news that's coming in. Grand welcome for the Prime Minister in Trinidad and Tobago. Trinidad and Tobago Cabinet were seen in Indian attire, welcoming the Prime Minister in an unprecedented move. Prime Minister Kamala Prasad welcomes the Prime Minister of our country at the airport herself. The Prime Minister, in fact, is to be conferred the highest honour of Trinidad and Tobago, just like we'd seen the Prime Minister being conferred the same when he was on a visit to Ghana, which was his first stop in this very five-nation tour. But on your screens right now is the very welcome that was extended to him. Not just a warm welcome, but an unprecedented one. At that, let's in fact listen in to what the Prime Minister had to say on India's friendship with Trinidad and Tobago, and how it has grown stronger.
When I last visited 25 years ago, we all admired the cover drives and pull shots of Lara. Today, it is Sunil Narayan and Nicholas Puran who ignite the same excitement in the hearts of our youth. Between then and now, our friendship has grown even stronger.
Pranay Upadhyay, editor India Today Global, joins me on the broadcast to in fact put it further into perspective at this point. Pranay, very good morning to you. You know, when we see such a warm welcome being extended to the Prime Minister across nations whenever he's on a visit, this time it's Trinidad and Tobago, it indeed shows and speaks of his popularity within the world, and yes, how India has indeed established itself as the voice of the global South.
Good morning, Shreya. And you rightly pointed out that the kind of welcome Prime Minister Narendra Modi received in Trinidad and Tobago, his visit to Caribbean, he mentioned that when he last visited 25 years ago, is still fresh in his memory. And the very fact that he was received by the entire cabinet of the Trinidad and Tobago government at the airport, and Prime Minister Kamala Prasad, very richly praised Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and she said that we are receiving someone who's very near and dear to us, and she termed him as a transformational leader, as a global figure, and India's position, as a dominant and a prominent voice of the global South and a global power. So these are the words used by Kamala Prasad Sir and Prime Minister Narendra Modi also when he addressed the Indian community. The very fact that Shreya, his first event after his his arrival in Trinidad and Tobago was a community event where he addressed the large gathering of the Indian community. And we all know the fact that Trinidad and Tobago has around 40 to 45% of their population is of Indian origin and very rich connect. And that's why Prime Minister also mentioned the fact that, right from civilizational or the cultural connect to the cricketing connection, we share a lot of things with the small Caribbean country of Trinidad and Tobago. And Prime Minister mentioned about, the Girmitias, their struggle, how they built in Trinidad and Tobago, and how they preserve the Indian cultural values in Trinidad and Tobago, despite, having left the land of India, having left Ganga and Yamuna behind, but still preserved the connection, the Ramayana in heart. So these were the things Prime Minister Narendra Modi also mentioned. He would also be holding bilateral talks with the Prime Minister and President there. And not only this cultural and the civilizational or the cricketing connection, but also Prime Minister will be giving what India can contribute to the Trinidad and Tobago's growth story. Trinidad and Tobago is a country where even Indian UPI works. So these are the important things which not only Prime Minister Narendra Modi mentioned in his speech while addressing to the to the Indian diaspora, Indian community there, but also during his bilateral talks with the leadership of Trinidad and Tobago, there will be some important MOUs to be signed and some important agreements to be done with Trinidad and Tobago.
Right, Pranay, absolutely. And, please do stay with us at this point because there is more to this visit, not just the welcome that was extended to him at the airport, but there is more connections that the Prime Minister has spoken about between Trinidad and, in fact, specifically the Bihari community in India. Let's take you through that next. Well, when we speak of the welcome that was extended to Prime Minister Modi in Trinidad and Tobago, the Bihari community was seen welcoming the Prime Minister in Trinidad and Tobago. Bhojpuri Chautal to welcome the Prime Minister Modi. That is what we in fact saw. The Bihari culture being on display at Port of Spain, and ceremonial welcome was seen for the Prime Minister in Trinidad and Tobago. In fact, I'll just let you seep that in a little before we proceed into the conversation with Pranay.